Alright, so as I said before in a previous video, I shot these unboxings last week. Was not feeling good. Ended up with the flu, I'm assuming. But I did the videos anyway, powered through them, and have not watched them back yet, so I don't know what they look like. So I'm just going to do these videos in their place. This book here, I've been going on like a highly focused on getting Legion, trying to get as many as I can high grade before the year is up. I'm doing really well with this. I've gotten about, I don't know, about 7, maybe 8 high grade Legion books. So I'm dwindling the number down pretty quickly. This one I picked up because it's one of the Legion villains' first appearances, but it came across it, and I'm gonna grab them as I see them because it's like high grade is hard to come by with Legion. So this is Jim Shooter and Mort Weisinger stories, George Papp art, Jim Shooter layouts, Kurt Swan and George Klein cover. I think this might be the book, but I could be wrong. Here's the letters page. There's a letter by somebody in this book, but now I can't remember who it is. Anyway, this is first appearance of Dr. Regulus and the origin of Sunboy. Still need his first appearance, so I'll be going after him soon. Found a 7.5. Kind of don't want to do that. I want to get at least an 8.0 or higher. So I may actually hold out until I find one. And this is from September of 1966. This is Adventure Comics 348. The Legion has never battled a more awesome, powerful foe than the fantastic Dr. Regulus in Target 21 Legionnaires. There, that's the end of the Invisible Kid, and the Kryptonite chains will finish Superboy. Score! 6 Legionnaires down, and it's still my turn at bat. Stuff's so great. And then the back cover is a Switch and Go Twin GT car set by Mattel. Who's in charge here? You are. You control the cars by remote air control. You can change the flexible track layout any way you want. Set it up indoors or out. But origin of Sunboy and first appearance of Dr. Regulus. So like I said, I'm going through and getting as many Legion keys as I can before the end of the year hits. I'm going to combine 2 of the videos here and do a second one in this video because I'm not quite at 5 minutes. This is a big one. This was probably my first introduction to the Legion when I was about 16, I think. Yeah, I was about 16. I worked a stall at the flea market. So my dad had a stall at the flea market on the weekends. And we would get up at like 5 a.m. And head out. And we would get there like 5:30, 6 o'clock, set up. And after a while, you kind of, you make friends with the other vendors, and vendors come around. Not to date myself, but there was a vendor there that did pagers. So before cell phones, you have a pager. So I went and signed up and got a pager. It was like $6 a month or something for the service. I don't know how we got to talking about it. I think my dad would just kind of go around and mention comics to everybody because you never know who has them. And I was, he knew I was into them, so he would casually mention it to people and stuff. Son collects comics. If you have anything you want to sell, let me know. Blah blah blah. So eventually, the pager people, they came over with a small box of comics, about maybe 100, 120 comics, and they asked me to sell them for them. Value them out, price them up, and sell them, and I get a cut. So I took my cut in just comics. I just told him, look, I'll keep a couple of comics and I'll sell them for you, and we'll call it even. in that box there was like the first 8 issues of Miracle Man or Mr. Miracle, first 4 or 5 issues of New Gods, Forever People, a lot of 70s Kirby. There was an X-Men, like number 20 or 14 or 15, somewhere around there, double digit X-Men, like below 25. But it was water damaged. But somebody still bought it. They paid like $15 for it, and they were happy to get it. Also in there was a couple of Superboy, like it was mostly DC. Like I said, there was the X-Men. I think there was like one other Marvel comic. It was indies, independent, some 50s comics. There was a Joe Jinx it's some other book title. It's like a anthology series. Every issue was something different, but it's Joe Jinx. It's issue number 16 or issue number 8. I can never remember now. It's either 8 or 16. Anyway, it features Joe Jinx, and that became the oldest comic that I owned, because I think it was from like 1940 or 1939, maybe. It was just reprints of Joe Jinx newspaper strip, but it was in great shape. Really great shape, like a 7 or 8. So I kept that. There was a My Little Margie #1. I kept that. I kept the Kirby, DC Kirby's, and a couple of Superboys, and I sold everything else. And I even threw some of my books in there, to kind of make up the difference, and sold some of those off, some of my doubles and stuff. But this is one of the books that were in there, and this is my first introduction to the Legion. I was really wondering, like, who is this character? And I read the book, and so I have a copy, but it's real, like, low grade, like it's probably like 4 or 5 maybe. So I went to upgrade it, and this is the highest copy I could find. I've been looking for a year. This is the highest copy I could find. I would love to get an 8.0. So if anybody's watching and you have an 8.0 and you want to trade up some cash, hit me up, because I definitely would do it. This is Superboy number 98, from July of 1962. Jerry Siegel story, Al Pacino art, Kurt Swan, George Klein cover and art. This is the first appearance of Ultra Boy, and Pete Ross becomes a Legion reservist. Thus, introducing the boy with ultra powers. And I really like Ultra Boy. I think I know like everybody's got their favorites and stuff, but to me, there's like 5 members of the Legion that I really like. Ultra Boy is one of them. He's a really cool character. And that's like when I was a kid, man. I was like 16. I'm just like, I was into Marvel, and the Image at the time was hot and everything. And I'm looking at this, and it's just like it drew me to it. I'm like, man, like I love this artwork. #1, I love this time period and how simple, and I don't know. It's just something so pure about this artwork. And he's walking down the street, and there's this kid, and he's looking. They're both X-ray vision, and I was like, oh, man, who is this character? Because I'd never heard of him before. So I was really intrigued about this, and I didn't know at the time, and he's not one, but later on I'd find out there was a lot of like throwaway Superman style heroes that would show up in Superman and Superboy and Adventure Comics, and they would threaten Superman or take on Superman or threaten to take his position or whatever, and it just lasts 1 issue or 2, and then you never see the character again. So at the time, I was kind of wondering, like, who is this character? But this is my first appearance. This is my first appearance. It's my first introduction to the Legion, and it took what 34 years later, and I'm finally putting it all together and putting a run together. But unfortunately, you chase other stuff, and I think I'm now at the point in my life where I'm kind of going after nostalgic books that I didn't grow up on. I didn't even live in this time period, but I have a nostalgic feeling for them. So got that one at it. All right, this video is going on a little long, so I'm going to stop this here and come back with another one. Thanks.